Alrighty, good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, August 29th, 2023. Got a little bit of an announcement here. It kind of came out of nowhere, but I am going to be on another road trip here for the rest of the week. Now, I'm going to be doing my broadcast, but do want to let you guys know I will be on a bit of a road trip up to just outside of Minneapolis to meet up with my friend for a week or two. So I'll be driving up through Montana and a couple new states I haven't been in, up in South Dakota, and then over into Minnesota. So should be fun. But with that being said, the reason I'm mentioning this is I don't think I'm going to have time to actually upload videos and edit videos and get our pre-markets up every morning onto YouTube because of that until I'm settled in Minneapolis or right outside of Minneapolis. So just bear with me in that regard. I will probably not have the time to upload videos because I will be on the road. So just want to get that out there. So let's go ahead and take a look at what happened here yesterday on the market. It's just been, just a total washout yesterday. Now, out of the open, remember, we didn't really necessarily have any type of strong bias. I just gave you guys some of the levels that made sense that could hold for the bullish side or the bearish side. And what happened here is this is basically the whole day. Let me see if I can bring this up, and we bring up the whole day here. From the left-hand side of the screen, that's literally the New York Open there. And this is what happened yesterday. Just a whole bunch of nothing, right? Super balanced market. We did hold that magenta line you see right at the bottom of the screen is 50% of last week. So we did, throughout the day, continue to come down and test into 50% of last week, and the bulls seem to be holding things up, at least for now. All right? Now, out of the open, the sexiest thing you could have done, and I was watching this and got a trade myself, is that pullback right to the 200. Right? So the market opened here, kind of chopped around a little bit. I told you we were holding right around our first expected resistance zone here, just 2 ticks in front. And then they popped through, came back, and came right to the 200. There is that textbook setup, guys. Within the first 20 minutes of the open, you could have got a nice, at least a 5-point trade. It didn't quite get to, like, if you bought 44.37, it missed 44.47 by literally 2 or 3 ticks there. So you didn't get a full 10-pointer out of that, but at least you would have gotten a nice little 5-point trade, and then, you could have reconsidered what you were going to do there. It came down and held just a couple ticks in front of VWAP, so shucks, that probably wouldn't have got filled if you tried the pullback to get long there. And then, like I said, just all day, it just jumped back and forth and didn't quite go anywhere. So a very difficult market. Remember, we had our weekly study session a while back. We talked about some days are nice and easy, some days are really hard. In fact, last week, if we go back, I was reviewing last week, which I wasn't really trading the charts because I was out mountain biking every day, but we got some very easy days. I went back and looked, and we were just holding the moving averages, pushing very directionally on some days. There were a lot of beautiful setups. Yesterday was just one of those days that nothing really happened. Now, there were some nice holds. Let me see if I can get this back to where we were here. So right around the open. Okay, perfect. There were some decent holds. Actually, let me get this back to where we were. There were some decent holds, like the hold off the 200 right after the open. That would have been that would have been the only trade I would have been confident in after the market opened there. And it actually was a really nice trade. And then we did hold at the back end of the VWAP here and hold to the top side a couple times. So we bounced in a couple ticks in front the first time. We actually bounced here for a decent trade. However, if you were taking that trade off VWAP, you would have seen that we held off the FMA and came right back and then came down to the high of the day before there. So that didn't really lead to much, right? And then it held the back end, like I said, of the VWAP here for some decent trades, but they didn't really go anywhere, right? It was like 35 down to 27. Again, just below a 10-point push. Held it again. I think this second test, you might have gotten 10 points out of it if you caught it nearly to the tick there. But again, just didn't go anywhere. Popped back up through VWAP, packed back below it, and it just was a totally choppy situation. That was yesterday. We talked about easy days and hard days. That was a pretty difficult day, if you ask me. So that brings us into this morning. We've got, again, very choppy situation. We're just kind of trading inside of all of yesterday's range here, which is something that we don't want to be trading inside of, if you ask me. And again, nothing too notable in the overnight session here. If you tried to short the VWAP as we were breaking below it, it went maybe a couple ticks, a point or two, popped back through, came up, and it was just a total mess. So the overnight session as well has been pretty messy here, and nothing really notable to look at. So let's go ahead and jump up to the higher time frames. Obviously, you guys know what I'm going to say here. We really need to get outside of all this junk that we've been in for this week now. But let's go ahead and jump up to the higher time frames and see if the charts have anything else to really tell us. Let me mark this, and let's go up. So